So we've arrived in Stornoway on the Isle of Lewis.
Yes.
The northernest of the islands. Staying at quite a nice campsite called Laxdale. Quite impressed with it so far. We'll show you some more footage, I think.
Yeah, great facilities.
Later on. Probably the best showers we've been in for a long time.
Cannonball to me.
Yep.
Is there a thing on it? No.
Oh. More an anchor, none of a buoy, isn't it?
Yeah, it could be actually. Yeah,
So this is Lewis Castle. It's quite an impressive building. I think it's a hotel now. Well, it's quite a nice walk this through Lewis Castle. What's interesting about it is that there are mountain biking routes, running routes, and well, anything you walk in, anything you want to do really, all around the castle. And we're walking at the moment up to the high point, which should give us a really good look back along the port of Stornoway.
Front, can you get that on your iPhone?
I'll have to have a look. And here we are at the top, and that's the view back down. So we've been on the island, starting our third week on the islands, having spent a couple of weeks crawling up through mainland Scotland. And actually we're quite pleased to be here. We've enjoyed everywhere we've been, but it's actually quite nice to have a little bit of civilization. We're back near a town. This is about a 5,000 population town, so with an interesting story connected to fishing, offshore work. It's got its own airport, its castle, etc. I've already talked about. But it's actually quite nice just to be near people again. We've had quite a few days where we haven't seen anybody, and that's sort of been all right too. And we sort of talked about it and wondered whether the fact that we've been isolated due to COVID and things made that more of an issue for us. But it's actually really nice to get back to civilization for a little while, and it's very good. So all in all, we're quite pleased to be in Stornoway. It's going to be interesting few days. Well, that's just ridiculous. I've heard of ambition, but that's just ridiculous. Nothing good's going to happen here, Poppy. I suggest that you cease and desist immediately. Poppy.
Poppy, drop.
Good girl. That's a good girl. Come on then.
Good girl. There's a good girl.
When we start this loop on repeat, hear my chest, how it beats when you put your hands on me. Time
Well, good morning. We're out on the bikes again this morning. Poppy's in the K9 rucksack as usual, and we just stopped at a nice beach just to give her a leg stretch. Always works better if she's had a good run, and then the rest of the journey's quite peaceful then. But as you can imagine, a puppy, loads of excess energy and excitement. Wake up in the morning, it doesn't do not to give her a run before we set off. We'd always walk her at some point in the day, but certainly when she's going on the bikes, we need to give her a run first. So we cycled about 3 miles down to a local beach just to give Nella's gone, taken her onto the beach and given her a run, and I'm waiting with the cycles. So we're off today out to a peninsula, the other side of Stornoway, down to a lighthouse, see what's down there. Really looks like nice views, etc. So we'll see what happens. But this is quite an interesting place. Just above us is an ancient church and some landmarks which we're going to have a look at next. And there's lots of remnants around here, both from Viking era and from Gaelic Celtic culture, and it's quite an interesting place. What have we got here then, H?
It is the earliest church, I think.
The earliest church on Lewis, or?
I think so, yeah. It was, according to tradition, the church was built on the site of a cell occupied by St Catton, who was locals are believed to have been buried at Ewy. Not sure about that, but there you go. It says that this area here was occupied up to 6,000 years ago. So,
it is incredible just how long people have occupied these islands, isn't
yeah,
it, when you think about it?
Yeah, it suggests that they found everything from remains from the Iron Age to medieval stone. That suggests that when this was an established community when the first emissaries from the new Christian church arrived. But it was the MacLeod dynasty from Norsemen obtained the control of Lewis.
So we've made it to the lighthouse at, I think it's Tupanhead. I'll have to spell that. It's Tiumpan, looking at the sign. It's a typical traditional white lighthouse with gold paint interface. It's quite a nice setup. No phone signal at all up here, so I can't really do any research on it, but the place where we are is renowned for minke whales and all kinds of wildlife in the sea. The sea's a little bit choppy on the surface today, so I'm not sure what we'll see or whether we'll see anything. Even more, whether or not we'll be able to film it, I doubt it. But it's a lovely place to be. It's taken us about, I don't know, probably just about an hour and 10 to get up here. We did stop to let Poppy have a run on the beach, and she's gone now for a romp through the heather with Helen. That's the key to Poppy's compliance, really, is to make sure that we every 30-40 minutes or so stops and has a good 10-15 minutes thrash around, and then she's fine. And then we'll give her a proper daily walk later on. It's a lovely place, this. It's not always been a bit of a surprise to us. We didn't quite know what to expect, and in some respects it still is a very working place, industrial place. It's this sort of capital really, but it's also got these unique and beautiful areas that are worth exploring. So yeah, like anything else, it's if you choose to look, you always find something that's really valuable wherever you go, really interesting. So that's where we are. But yeah, it's a lovely day, better than we thought. Certainly wasn't, the sunshine wasn't given in the forecast. I don't think they get that much sunshine up here, if I'm honest, through the year. So this is a real bonus today, so we're going to enjoy it. We should have brought a picnic, but we'll make up for it when we get back. Morning everybody, we're another morning in Sawnway. We've come on the other side of the bay. If I turn the camera around, you can see now that we're looking across the bay back to the port. It's quite a grey day today. It was beautiful sunshine yesterday for our bike ride, but quite a grey day today. But I think this is pretty standard. One good day, one grey day. As long as the rain stays away, that'll work for us. So on the other side, I'm having a bit of a walk around the headland, and we've just walked through Lewes Castle. Yeah. And this is all part of the estate. Looks like we're going to go up here to a nice vantage point, a bit of a viewing area. Beautiful with all the flowers.
The heather's just starting to come out now, and it's gorgeous.
It is, it's purple, isn't it?
It smells nice as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just get a bit more of a viewing area up here. Nice colours as well. So.
Yeah, definitely. That's out there towards the entrance to the bay. It's quite a protected bay really. It's only a narrow channel in, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
They're obviously very deep because not only is that evidenced by a big freight container ship there called the Arrow, the actual ferry comes in here from Ullapool for Calmac, so it shows you it must be reasonably deep in the middle in the channel. But as I've said before, this is a working place. It's quite a nice place in terms of it's very functional. It's nice to drop in somewhere like here to get your shopping, and there are some nice things to look around, which hopefully we've reflected that. Not least of course the castle on the hill and the grounds. But yeah, a couple of days here that helps you get stocked up, bit of a return to normality, and everything's happy days.
That's a nice bench out the wood.
Yeah. It's nice here, isn't it?
Lovely, yeah. It's actually quite surprising, really. I knew it would sort of be a smallish town, Stornoway, but
Yeah.
it's, when you sort of get out of the town's nice enough, but when you get out here and you look at the coastline, it's really quite pretty.
It is. It's that seaweed colour, but the seaweed's...
Look at the heron there, look, just up at the
Oh yeah,
other side there. Yeah.
The seaweed there is just, you can't beat that golden seaweed colour on North Uist though, can
No,
you?
you can't.
That's
No.
really, really beautiful.
No.
Yeah, and there's a heron over there, isn't there? Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. The tide's coming quite high actually, looking at it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, looking at the rocks, the watermarks on the rocks.
Morning.
There's a bit of a waterfall, I think you can hear it, can't you?
Yeah.
Something coming in. Poplar's bench donated by Smith's Shoe Shop.
Yeah, that's interesting.
That's good, isn't it?
Yeah. 2006.
Yeah.
Good morning. So here we are, out having some boys' own fun really this morning. We're out on the mountain bike trails, out at Lewes Castle. Managed to call it by its correct name today. I have been calling it in previous videos Lewes Castle. It's actually pronounced Lewes Castle. So yeah, there's mountain bike trails all through here, different grades, reds, blues, greens, grass tracks. So there's plenty of options for people who want to come out and ride around. We didn't think it was appropriate to bring Poppy on this one, although she does ride the bike, as you know, in the sack. This is a little bit more potential for falling off and falling on is there, so we haven't brought Poppy this morning. So Helen's walking around in the woods with Poppy, and I'm having to play on the runs. So we'll see how we get on. They're actually quite good up to now, so I'm looking forward to a good day. The weather seems to be playing ball, so which is good for Scotland, as you know. So looking forward to a good day. So that was good fun. It's about halfway round. Predominantly on the blue trails. Had to promise to keep off the black and the red ones, having broke my nose over a week ago. It's just about right. Not quite 100%, but it's just about right. I've had to promise that since we're in the motorhome in the middle of nowhere, I haven't to fall off and break any limbs. So in that case, I've sort of been promising that sometimes you get a bit lost. Can't help it. But at the moment I'm on track. I'm on a nice blue trail. As you can see behind me, the trail leads up, and if I pan around, you'll see to this really nice vantage point that's over the bay looking Stornoway. And I just turn around a little bit. There's just a little bit of shrubbery and things behind me. It's all good fun. The thing about this place is you don't have to be too technically expert for this. You can choose your routes, and if you want to go jumping and hopping and on tops of tables and tabletopping and all the things that they do, then you're welcome to it. It's there. Nice bits to play on. Reminds you of your youth a little bit. But what a great place Lewes Castle is. It's a place for all things, as we've shown this week when we've been sort of walking, running, and tomorrow hopefully we'll get down here and take part in the park run, which we'll explain more about tomorrow. But if you follow us regularly, you'll know that we're committed park runners, and we like it very much. So we'll push on and try a bit to see what happens. Well, that was absolutely brilliant. I've had the best part of 2.5 hours playing on the forest trails and the woods, mainly on the blue routes. Just come down one called Bad Education, which reminded me that I'm 60 and not 20. Nearly 60 anyway, next. So all in all though, what a morning. Loved it. Gonna meet Helen and Poppy for coffee now, but I'll put some of this together. I realise it won't be everybody's cup of tea, but I'm sure you'll forgive me capturing it for our own records in the future, because I've had a hell of a morning. Thanks.
Good morning. Well, we're getting towards the end of our 3-week stay on the Hebrides, and today's Saturday. And what does Saturday mean? Well, when I was younger, Saturday used to mean either Tiswas Day or Multicoloured Swap Shop Day. Well, now for us, Saturday means Park Run Day. So Martin's got his trainers on. We're still on the Isle of Lewis, and we're down at Stornoway, and today is the Lewes Castle Park Run. So here we are, we've arrived at the start. I'll just pan round and show you where we are. Nice start out to on the harbour side, and you can probably see the runners gathering there. That's where the start is, and I think this is the finish line as well. So we're just waiting for the allotted time. It's 9:30 here, which is a little bit later than some places. Shh, I'll be quiet. And the runners are gathering, waiting for the briefing, ready for the starting klaxon or whatever it is that sets them off. And yeah, there's quite a few people here, which is good. Apparently the numbers are down a little bit because there's a 10k taking place somewhere, so that'll thin it down a bit. But yeah, here we go, and watch this space. So if you can just see in the distance, this is the start of the park run. The run director is giving them everybody a bit of a briefing, telling them about the course, anything to watch out for, any hazards. The volunteers will have been briefed, they'll be all over the course, and there'll also be a tail walker. The tail walker's great because it means if you're running this, walking it, jogging it, walking it on your hands, or whatever you decide to do with a dog, with children, then you're never going to finish last. So there's always a tail walker. So when the briefing's finished, they'll call them up to the line and they'll set them off. Is it your dad? Yay, yay, yay! Well done, well done, well done.